How we doing, folks? Welcome into Week 13, Week 2 of the postseason. Two games on the slate tonight. First, we'll go to Northview in District 1A. Well, essentially it's a District 1A game, but Region 1A final pits two District 1A teams. Northview against Freeport. Pretty well the same result this time. Northview, easy victory, 43-13 over Freeport. They'll go to the state semifinal next week against Chipley. The winner of that one headed to Orlando in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think the one thing you take out of that game is that Northview is seeing steady improvement week after week. Because when they played this Freeport team back in week 7 or week 8 or whatever it was a 21-20 game, in the fourth quarter, and Northview just kind of ended up pulling away at the end and winning about 2 touchdowns. And this one, they just dominated from the outset. And it's interesting the way it works out for Northview. 3 straight rematches to start the playoffs. I mean, they played, well, not 3 straight. But they had Freeport. Now they get Chipley again. So the way it works out for them is that the Chipley, they struggled against the first time with 6 turnovers. I think it was that first game. So you gotta like their chances having this game at home and playing the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, they finally getting rid of the turnover bug. It seems like only 1 turnover on Friday night. And, they pretty well dominated. 5 different guys score touchdowns. LaMichael Kyles gets himself 2. So, an impressive win by them. It'll be interesting to see how they handle Chipley, knowing what they're up against, and how Chipley handles them. The interesting thing about Northview is they've gone from the spread double wing attack to the tight double wing attack now, and they really seem to be rolling. So, like you said, two rematches there. A second rematch tonight in 1-6A. Pace gets their second straight rematch, gets the chance to avenge both losses this season, knocks off Niceville last week in triple overtime, knocks off PHS this week in regulation 20-10.
Yeah, and I mean, this is it was one of those things where they took advantage of opportunities that PHS kept giving them all night long. PHS 5 turnovers in the game, 3 interceptions. Austin Hauser from Pace had all 3 of those interceptions. When you go back and look at the game and you kind of replay it in your head, it was one of those games where PHS did everything in their power to give it away, and Pace took full advantage of it. You don't want to kind of go one way or the other with it, because I think both teams did what they had to do to win. Right. Pace obviously ran the football a lot better than they did the first time they played. J.C. Curry was just a beast in the first half, and kind of allowed Pace to get that lead. And we've seen with Pace, once they kind of get a lead and you let them kind of get into that offense where they could grind it out, they're just a tough team to beat. And that's what it was tonight. And they took advantage of those turnovers that PHS kept giving them.
Yeah, and it was a situation where they were able to get 2-3 yards, 5 yards, 2-3 yards. And then as soon as they see what the defense is doing, they're able to go over the top to Patrick Maddox. Yeah. He has a big 43-yard touchdown, has another big grab in the second half that sets up another touchdown. So Maddox, again, the key to the offense. Last week he wins it in overtime for him. This week he wins it in regulation for him. Just a really important player in that Pace machine. Now, the interesting thing for Pace is after 2 road games where they only had to travel 30 minutes, they're going to travel 6 hours. They're going to go over to Jacksonville, and they're going to face another runner-up in Bartram Trail, but a team whose only loss this year was to St. Augustine, and then they go and beat Columbia, who beat St. Augustine in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. And for Pace, they don't have that built-in motivation anymore. I mean, now it's they got to motivate themselves, and then the motivation obviously is to get to the state semifinals. But they're playing a team that they're not familiar with, Bartram Trail. They're not playing a team that they lost to in the regular season. Right. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle the road trip, the long road trip, and go up there and then try to play that style of offense against them. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Pace responds to that and how they get past these 2 emotional wins they've had the last 2 weeks.
Right, and it'll be difficult for us to pretend we could even analyze this game right now. I know absolutely nothing about Bartram Trail. I've never even, in the 5 years I've been here, I've never even seen them play. So, we'll see what we can learn about that. I do know they have a big-time quarterback kid that is pledged to Tennessee. So, we'll see what we can learn about that. So, with that, join us next week. We'll break down both games, both the Pace Bartram Trail and Northview Chipley, and see what we can find out about our opponents here. And we'll bring it all to you next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll just keep going.
Wall-to-wall coverage.
That's right. So, again, I'm Jason Blakeney. This is Brady Amon. Y'all have a great night.